Hey, hey, hey. How you guys doing tonight? Oh, I'm getting echo. Let me turn that down. Hang on. I'm doing just one silly thing here, making sure that everybody can see this. So bear with me. I don't have my show producer here just now. Says it's public. All right, whatever. All right. There we go. Public. Now it's public. Okay. Hey, welcome to the official Road Story Show. I am the Party Hog, a.k.a. Mike Braniff, and I'm glad you guys tuned in. How do you like the shades, man? This is show number 2. Show number 2. We better check things out here first. Check. 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 Yeah. Let's try that again. Check. 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 That's as loud as you're getting. Anyway, welcome to the show tonight. Good to see you guys. There. Jesus Christ, it's bright in here. All right. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and welcome to the show. I got another good road story, a couple of road stories to tell. I'm going to be bringing in a special guest a little bit later on to help flesh out a couple of the stories and dig into some new ones, hey? I hope you're all doing well out there. I hope everything's going good, and you know how the routine goes with this stuff. You better have a drink in your hands with me. Cheers to you. This is coconut tequila, courtesy of Deanna. I got this on my birthday. Cheers, everybody. Ding. Boom. Booze goes up. Booze goes down. We had some fun doing the basement show last week, me and Semenko Dave, and we got another one coming up this Wednesday. So tune in at 8 o'clock. Same hog time, same hog channel. We'll see you then. Now, boys and girls, tell you what, I don't know, but do you guys feel like maybe having a little bit of a road story tonight? Well, you know what? Before we go any further, I'd like to remind everybody that the official Party Hog Road Story Show is brought to you by Fortification Security Solutions. Fort C. McMurray, my good buddy. He's a good guy. Give him a call at 780-868-6066. If you need a locksmith, your door fixed, anything like security, he's the guy. And he is a good friend and a good pal and supports the show. And I'd like to thank him for being a sponsor this week. Thank you, Fort. And Bridget. Give him a call, and he'll take care of you, man. He did all my locks. When I'm a dumbass and I lock myself in my van, he's the Fort, can you come get me, man? So, anyway, okay, I'm just bringing up the comments here. No sound. There we go. You guys should be hearing me. All right, check 2. There we go. Okay, Keith, you're hearing me now. Good, that's good to see. Okay, I'm a little bit back. Hey, look at everybody tuning in. Christina, Craig, Leah, Christy, Keith, Fred Zepp. Good to see you, Fred Zepp. Elan, good to see you guys. Craig out in Hamilton, Ontario. Woo! Hey, you're almost close to that other city that's getting hockey games. Not like us. We've got them. All right. Hey, so I had a lot of technical issues I was working on today, so I got a new update to the software that kind of caught me by surprise, and I'm just going to roll into it here, okay? Tell you what, let's just roll on with the show. All right. I'm going to start off with a story, a short little story here. The first one I did was I was in a band. This is good. You guys, hang on here. Oh, God.
Boring.
No, it won't be boring. All right, I promise. It'll be
Excellent.
Look at me, my little sound buttons down here. Woo! All right, there we go. Oh God. All right, now you see this band promo picture. That's me in the back with the perfectly feathered hair. We were called Maniacs. My sister Donna did the logo up. This is a good example as to why you should never smoke weed before your promo shoot. Look how baked we all are in this shot. We are absolutely cooked there. So anyway, this is about 1983. I was playing in this band, and we were playing a lot around the Kootenays and stuff, and I'd never played a big city before. We got down to Crow's Nest Pass, played in the Blairmore Hotel there at the Turtle Mountain Motor Inn, all that kind of stuff. Nelson, Castlegar, Trail, Soyuz, all these kind of places. Kimberly. Loved playing all these gigs, but still, had yet to play a big city. Well, that time had finally come. In about middle of 1983, we got a chance to play in Calgary, and we knew it was going to be a big showcase for the agent there at the time, Commodore Entertainment. Well, so where do you go when you're a new band breaking into Calgary on the road in 1983? The fucking Regis Hotel. So there we are, the Regis Hotel. And, I mean, this place was pretty disgusting. You'd look out the windows. You didn't see out in the street. They had one of those centers of the hotel that was like supposed to be a fake window, and you'd see hypodermic needles out there. It was pretty gross. But, you know, I the first week we played there, the agent came out to watch us play. And I found out that she was there with her partner. It was Pat and Cheryl from Commodore Entertainment. Be nice. It's a family show. Bullshit. Anyway, miss those guys. Anyhow, they came out to see our band for the first time to see if we were worthy enough of bumping up in the circuit and getting off the Pinoca, there's a small town tour. So we pull into Calgary, we get there, and we're doing the gig. They're in the audience, and I'm rocking out like I am on fire. But the problem is that I'm on my knees playing rhythm guitar while my guitar player, the lead guitar player, is up front. He's playing away. He's doing a solo, but I'm front and center, like this, and I'm just honking on that A chord. Now, I see them laughing out there, and I'm like, oh, no, what's going on? What are they laughing at, We finish the set. We go to talk to him, and first words out of the mouth is, you have to settle down, mister. You have to settle down. When the guitar player is doing a solo, let him do the solo. You don't need to be front and center on your knees like you're in the Scorpions, going ape shit there. So anyway, lesson learned. God, this place was a dump, man. A cheap draft, but I mean, we were right next to a strip club and the Legion. The York Hotel was just down the street. But here's where the story gets good, okay? That first week in Calgary, the Monday night, excuse me, we get in here. Let me have a drink for this one. This is called Wrestling with a Giant. We get in, we get set up, and it always takes us a long time to set up in a new bar. We've never been there before. So we set up our PA, do a sound check and everything like that. And by the time I get upstairs to my room, it's 8 o'clock, and we are on at 9. And they didn't have showers in the rooms. They had a bathtub, a real weird, old, deep, wide, massive bathtub that used to fill up from the bottom. It was a weird 100-year-old fucking bathtub. And I wasn't going to do it. They said, there's a shower in the bathroom on the 4th floor. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go up and have a shower. I got to have a shower. We're on at 9 o'clock. I got to get cleaned up here and wake up and freshen up for the show. It's our first night. We heard the agent's coming. So about 8:30, I get upstairs, and I'm thinking, a community bathroom on the 4th floor, like in a lot of old hotels were. Somebody's in there. Oh, geez, I got to use a shower, and I'm like, I wait outside for about 5 minutes. Geez, his buddy's must be taking a number 2 in there. So I'm like, I'll come back in 5 minutes. I go back down to my room, and I'm storming around. Jesus Christ, I got to get in the fucking shower here. I got to get cleaned up for the show, right? And God damn it, okay, I get back upstairs, and it's like pushing on, 22 minutes to the clock. But he's still in there. So hey, come on, man, hurry up. Somebody else got to use the bathroom here tonight. That's all I heard was, So I just kind of stood back, and I just waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. Felt like another 10 minutes, but obviously it was only a couple more. And I'm like, gave it another knock. Hey, man, come on. Somebody else has really got to use the bathroom here. Well, I hear the toilet flush. Hallelujah. I'm going to get to go in and have a shower after this guy's had a poop. Well, the door opens up, and it's it's Andre the fucking Giant. He was there for Stampede Wrestling for the summer of 1983, working for Stu Hart, doing this is the only poster I could find of it online. They Thursday night they did at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, but this is the same week we were there, and he was. This is a little bit from the match.
Out he goes. There's your winner.
He won the Royal, or not,
Andre the
I
Giant.
guess it was the Royal Rumble or the Battle Royale. That's what they call it. There he is with old Ed there. So. Yeah. Andre the Giant. I mean, he wasn't a huge star. He hadn't been in The Princess Bride yet. He hadn't, fought Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania, nothing like that. He was just one big dude who just took a big shit in the bathroom, and I needed to take a shower right fucking now because I got to get downstairs because the big booking agent's coming to the gig tonight. So when he opened the door, he didn't say a word. He just looked at me and kind of had a bit of a half smile, like, she's all yours, kind of. like, all yours, buddy. That is. And I just, I mean, it was about an 8-inch step to go up into the bathroom, So, I mean, he was 8 inches higher than I was even when the door opened. I'm just looking up, and it's like this massive man, and I'm what? Yeah, I just turned 18. I had a little 28-inch waist in my Levi's. It was looking good, but I was a little guy, 170 pounds, and he's Andre the Giant, for Christ's sake. Anyway, he used to go down and eat pizza around the corner. Here's where the story kind of gets cool. Again, he wasn't a giant star yet, but he was a well-known wrestler. He came in and he sat down, and he was notorious for being able to just drink and drink and drink and drink, like tons of drinking. And he sat at a table watching us play. I think it was about a Wednesday night, and he was drinking straight out of the jug, like no pouring in glasses. He would order jugs and just and drink them like we were drinking the pints. It was amazing. And he drank, God, it had to have been 16 jugs that night. It was just like insane. And we're all keeping our eye on this guy, like just this crazy. Anyway, that's my Andre the Giant story there. And
That's by sucking.
yeah, I know. Maybe, we'll get on to the next story here. All right. So, just down the road at the end of the block in downtown Calgary was the York Hotel with a bar called O'Brien's. Now, I was playing there with my Aussie tribute band, and here, better join the room here just because I know my buddy's coming.
Keeping an eye on this.
Oh, there he is.
Anyway, that's my Andre story there, and
I went in.
yeah, I know.
We were upstairs having a little party after the Aussie gig.
Story here, all right. So,
and we're on the 8th floor of the hotel at the York Hotel. When our drummer, we used to call him Spidey. That was his nickname. Somehow he got the great idea that he was Spider-Man, and so before you know it, the two of us had him by the legs, by the ankles, and literally are dangling our drummer out of the 8th floor of the York Hotel in downtown Calgary. Nothing below but cabs. Which leads me to the next part of the party. Somehow a beer fell out the window. I want to say that somebody strategically dropped it on top of a roof of a cab, a full beer, a Labatt's. But let's just say that somebody bumped their butt in the window and it fell out. Okay, let's just go with that part instead. By the way, the person that might have strategically dropped that wasn't me. I want to make that clear too. So, just clear the legalities and all that. Oh yeah, okay. So, anyway, the cops come upstairs and they're like, bang, 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 bang on the door. You guys, who the hell threw a beer out at the cab? It landed like on the roof of the cab. Made quite the sound. Felt I mean, this is stupid kid stuff back then. Come on, you guys, give us a break here. So crazy drunken rock and roll band bullshit. But you know, the cops. It was classic. I go, yeah, you know, I think they're partying up on the 10th floor because I saw that beer go by the window, and they bought it. They turned around and left us alone for the and you know, that brings me to. Anyway, that's how I see that night. Now there was somebody else in the room that night, and I'm gonna bring him in here. I'm gonna introduce everybody to my special guest here tonight. He's a dear old friend of mine, my old guitar player from the band Are You Easy, and Mr. Crowley, my old Aussie tribute band days. He's out of Nelson, British Columbia. Will you please welcome to the show? Oh, look at how fancy this is getting. Look at that! It's Darren Mahe. How you doing, buddy?
Oh my God. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, brother. God, I miss you guys. I mean,
Ditto.
oh man, that bad. So anyway, we'll get to that stuff later, the sentimental stuff. Let's just continue on. All right. Do you remember that night? You were there in that room, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in the room where holding on to Dave's pant leg. Let's put it that way.
That's right. Yeah. Like, I mean, literally, Dave Mills, Spidey. I mean, what a great drummer. But yeah, he literally could have just slipped right out of his jeans, couldn't he have? And
yeah,
man, this would be a different story then, wouldn't it? You know, totally different.
I can't believe the stuff that we used to do, man. Holy.
There we go. I take that off there. Good. I know that's just it.
Yes.
I had some of the. Now, when I wanted to let everybody know how I first met Darren, how we first hooked up on the road. I was playing at Jesse's hotel in Lethbridge with my Aussie tribute band, my first Aussie tribute band, and Dirty Urge we were called. And we had a guitar player there with his girlfriend, and they were recreating in their room, and he dislocated his shoulder. So he thought that we were going to be done for the gig, but lo and behold, we heard about these two hot guitar players in Lethbridge, Mr. Darren Mahe, my guest, and Reed Shimazawa as well too. People might know from Smash LA and Zucker Baby. They came down. I think you guys came down on a Thursday afternoon. Like how you guys got the call and came down, and it was like slam a whole bunch of tunes into you as fast as we can. And
yeah,
you did like half the night. Reed would do the other half, and it was
yeah.
great. I mean, you guys filled up enough of the night that we were able to still keep the gig and get paid while our guitar player in his sling was sulking in the front row watching you guys do it. Just telling the truth for that part, but
it was just pure luck that we were even there because we happened to have a week off from playing.
So just by it's a random kind of chance thing, isn't it? That happened, and so we got through that little stage. You guys helped out through the gig that weekend, and then eventually just down the road, you know, that guitar player shoulder became another problem, and that's another road story. I'll leave that one out for that. Anyway, that happened and in a parking lot, and then it was like suddenly, we need a new band, and so we got the bass player from that old band, and we hooked up with you and Dave Mills. We came down to Lethbridge, and I remember we were rehearsing. Where was that place?
I think maybe it might have been out at the old schoolhouse.
God, yeah, and I remember the songs we were learning.
Yeah.
Like a couple of the memories I got of that, like we learned "Pour Some Sugar on Me." That album had just come out, Hysteria, and everybody was all over the album, but that was the song nobody was into yet. So we were miles ahead. We went and tried to learn it as fast as we could. I kept nagging you guys, "Come on, it's going to be a hit. It's a log. Come on." So we ended up doing it anyway. But I also remember Dave bringing in the G&R record, Appetite for Destruction. And that was the first time we ever heard Guns N' Roses. But yeah, God, that was a hell of a Smash LA. I think was playing that week at Jesse's.
So here's a little interesting backstory there that you don't probably know, and probably not many people do know. So that week that you decided to look for another guitar player and contacted I think maybe it was Cheryl or somebody through the agency.
That's right. Yeah.
And you were asking if Reed or I could do it, right?
Yeah.
And at that point, Reed had committed to work with Terry to put together Smash LA.
Oh boy.
Right. And so I remember we were sitting in the bus on the way to our gig, and he's like, okay, Cheryl, I think maybe Skid had been talking to Cheryl or something.
Skid.
And he said, look, Dirty Urge is looking for a guitar player to do the Aussie thing, and wanted to know if either one of you guys are interested in doing it. And Reed had said, no, I think I'm gonna go and do this thing with Terry.
Yeah.
And we need another guitar player too. And so he said, I'd love it if you'd come with us. So you have a choice. You can either come with us or go and do the Aussie thing, right?
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So I potentially could have been the other guitar player in Smash LA.
Oh,
because I think I was the first one that was approached for that spot. And I decided, no, I think I want to do something where I'm the only guitar player, essentially, and do that stuff. Because we just had so much fun that night that we played.
Oh, God, it was great.
Efforts,
I mean,
right? So,
you guys were so good at filling in. I mean, you knew the songs verbatim. It was
because we've been
nuts.
playing that stuff since we were 16 years old, eh?
God, yeah. That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That close to being in Smash LA, huh? That's good. That's good. That worked out well for us, obviously. I mean, because you brought. You had Dave as well too. I mean, Dave was a phenomenal drummer. I mean, I could not have asked for a better Aussie tribute band. I mean, I had. Danny, good old Danny. Yeah, I mean, he looked like Bob Daisley pretty much. He had played with his Fender, and Dave played and looked just like Tommy Aldridge. He had the curly hair and you had the long hair, the Randy Rhoads kind of hair too, and it was just like, man, that's what I loved about the Aussie tribute band. You guys we all pretty much. That's the thing I'm proudest of. I mean, I don't really recall it being an Aussie tribute. It was a tribute to that album. I mean, it was that band, Randy and Tommy, and I guess Rudy was on it, but it should have been Bob Daisley. But that was a great time. God, you were there for. I mean, you were there for all the good stuff, man. You were there for when I got arrested. I told that story last week. You were there when I got arrested at the CI South, and you guys. What was that like when I was down at the jail? I mean, you guys just.
I just remember you getting hauled. We didn't know anything about it because we were all in the band room.
Yeah.
And then you get hauled out by the cops. And the rest of us are just left there sitting going, holy fuck, what are we going to do? And I think Kim was from Winterkill was with us in the dressing room, just kind of hanging out and having a beer or whatever.
Yeah,
or
he was there that night for sure. Yeah.
Smoking a joint or something. And you get hauled off. And it's like, holy fuck. Who's going to sing the rest of the night? We were just panicking like hell. And Kim, God bless him, stepped up to the plate and was like, yeah, I'll do it for you guys. No problem. Let's just figure out what we can play out of the set list. And what I know, I think we did maybe some Judas Priest or something and some older Aussie stuff that he knew. And
oh yeah, he was the king of the Sabbath tone, that Aussie tone.
Oh my God.
God, I might have had to look down, but he sang that shit.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was always a great singer and super nice guy too.
Good guy. God, and then the wet T-shirt contest and
and the wet T-shirt, and then it was that was just a funny. The whole story was just too good to be true. I mean, they got us as the band members to judge that contest, right? and I think maybe. I thought it was you, but I think maybe it was Spray that was seeing Tara, that stripper, that week, right? And so she was there that night to see us.
Right, that's
And then when we got hauled off, she, said, "Look, I'll go in the wet tee and try and win this thing or whatever." And I mean, yeah,
Yeah, okay,
we
we know
were,
what happened after that. Okay.
you know what happened after that.
That's
Too fun.
awesome. I didn't.
Oh, we were freaking out. We were just freaking out.
Oh
It
my
was-
god! And like, even we were the last band to play on that side of the CI South at the south
They
end
switched
of
the
it.
stage over to the other side after that.
That's right. Yeah. The week after that, they flipped the stage over to the other side. I've still got a board tape of us playing there.
Oh my God.
Remember we were playing Best of Both Worlds? We were playing Best of Both Worlds by Van Halen. And you know
Yep.
that little part in the middle there. You know, you used to do that little shuffle, you, me, and Danny kind of thing across the stage. Or you'd be playing, and me, I'd grab Danny and go around, start walking a little bit with him. And I'm like, "Danny, how long is your cord?" He goes, "About 10 feet." I go, "We're about 12 away, buddy." You know, sure enough, it turned around, and there it comes, the SBT cabinets. Boom.
In slow motion.
Slow motion, it hit the dance floor. I mean, it hit the stage, and just like a cloud of dust and old flash pot shit going up in the air. It was just gross, eh? Like, his head rolls off onto the floor, but you and Dave kept going. Bum, 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 bum. So Skid, our sound man, he comes running up, or Tony puts it. That's it. Tony puts it back up. Tony puts the head back up. He holds up the cord, and the cord used to go like this. Well, now it's going like this. He goes, chunk. He plugs everything in. Danny goes, boom, boom. Holy shit! It still fucking works.
That thing could have killed somebody. It was like
the song. It was just like, we had about a minute and a half interlude in the middle while we fixed the bass rig, but yeah. Oh my God. God. It's Skid. Remember? Oh, I'm gonna circle back to when we finally got out of that spot, the rehearsal spot, and we were going for one of our first gigs. Where was our first gig? I think it was
Medicine Hat.
Medicine Hat.
Was it Medicine Hat?
I thought it was Saskatoon, wasn't
Or
it?
was it Saskatoon? Oh no, you're right. It was Saskatoon.
Yeah, the Capri.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. The Capri. We went to the Capri. That's right. Because remember, we got about 45 minutes out of Lethbridge, and it's minus 30, and we're driving Skid's school bus. And Danny, I love you, brother. Jesus.
Yeah.
But he gets up to the front of the bus, and he opens up the door as we're going 100 miles or 100K down the highway, and he had to hawk a loogie out, so he wanted to do it out the door. He opens the door, and he hawks the loogie out. And the wind catches the door, and boom. And that's it. Remember, it was like the next 11 hours of driving through a harsh December fucking winter in minus 30 with the bus door open because Danny broke the door. We got this. Oh, Jesus.
The heater never really worked in that bus.
And there was that time, too, Skid was driving the bus, and the door came open or something too. Remember that? And we were going up Highway 2 from Calgary to Red Deer, and he just got up. It's like this thing doesn't cruise control. He got up. There's Tony. He's watching. I know Danny's watching too now. Love you, Dano.
Oh my God. Oh, bro.
Tony Rambo's watching too. That's great. Good to see you, Tony. How you doing, man? Yeah, we remember Skid. Yeah, he just got up out of his driver's seat and he walks over to fix the door or something. And it's like we look up and there's like literally now we're going 100K down the fucking highway and nobody's driving the bus. Oh my God.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, I'm gonna flip the page here again. Lloydminster. Colin. Now, anybody out there that knows Colin from the bar in Lloydminster in the 80s might know the word Hassenpfeffer is related to him. Because he looked and talked exactly like Where's my Hassenpfeffer? From Bugs Bunny cartoons. This guy hired us. Remember, we went up and played it. It's the Capri. That was right. The Capri in Lloyd. Oh, God. What's wrong with the Capris, eh? So I remember we played there. But, I want to tell the truth in this story, but I also don't want to say something in the world that'll get me in trouble. Okay? But let's just say there was a rival band. I'll go with that. That was there the week before, and they did a rival tribute show, not like Ozzy, but something else. And they were doing their show, and we had a little beef. I'd had a personal beef with the guy, I guess, and we were kids again, and grown-ups now. We're all better people, but we were doomed when we got there. I mean, we showed up, and it was going to be like no matter how good we did, and we did good that night. We played really good that night. We did the full Aussie show that first night, and at the end of the night, for no reason at all, he says,
that's right.
You guys are fired. And we're like, this is bullshit. Obviously, this is a bit of a setup kind of thing. Anyway, I won't get into that stuff. So, but he goes, you guys get your stuff and get the hell out. Okay. So we start loading out as fast as we can. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and we haven't been paid yet, even for the one night. And I remember he said, you guys all go outside and wait on your bus and then send in the girl. Our light man had his wife on the road with him. And so we all had to go sit in the bus. He locked the door, and then she came out. She got in. She went in, got paid. She came back out to the bus. And do you recall what it was that happened next?
It's very foggy for me. That one is like, yeah.
See, that was burned into my brain. He basically, this awful man, Colin, this awful human being with an awful looking ass, dropped his pants and planked his butt cheeks up against the window of his hotel with the door locked, with us outside of it, and spread his cheeks and just laughed with his ass planked up against that window. And it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, to be honest, but I mean, we did get paid a little bit out of it, but I mean, still, it was just, anyway, that's I had to I know there's a few people tuning in tonight that are from Lloyd and stuff, so I wanted to get I had to get some kind of Lloydminster thing in there as well too.
We're sorry.
What's your best memory from playing with I want to ask you two questions. Well, the same question twice though. What's your best memory, road story, rock story that you've got with playing with me in Are You Easy or Crowley, and then if you've got another one as well too.
Well, my best, I don't know. It was just constant shenanigans every day, right? I mean, it was Spinal Tap. So every day there was something. But one of the funny ones that I always remember is, and it goes back to Danny again. Sorry, Danny.
We love you, Danny, man. We really love you.
It was the teeth story. Remember that one?
Oh my God! I was talking to him. Just honestly, a couple of months ago, I brought it up to him. I went, "Remember that?" He goes,
brother.
You got to tell it, man.
Now you're gonna have to help me here. What were we at the CI West, or were we at the South again?
We were at the South. Yeah.
It's amazing how much stuff happened at the South.
I know, that's it. Eh? The South was like a magnet for fucking crazy shit happening. It was great there.
All I remember is we're on stage and we're playing some tune, and Danny's hair had gone into his mouth, and I remember looking over at him for some reason, and he's yanking on his hair trying to pull it out of his mouth. and it got caught in his teeth, which he had. How many? Like, had he had 3 or 4 false ones on the front?
Like a retainer of some kind, or
Yeah.
maybe yeah.
I remember him pulling this hair, and the teeth shot right out of his mouth and onto the dance floor in the middle. Right in the middle of the song. I don't even think we stopped. I don't remember who went out and grabbed him, if it was Danny or if it was you. But
no, it was me, because I remember he goes, I'm on the one side of the stage, and Danny comes up and goes, Mike. Danny, yeah, just rocking out. You got to get my teeth. What? You got to get my teeth. They're on the dance floor. And I look out, and it's like, and I realized, because I didn't see it like you did. I didn't see them come out. I knew they were out. He told me they're out there. I'm like, oh my God. I walk out, and I'm like, oh my God. And I pick them up, and I look, and I'm like, I mean, the guy, I'm not going to throw him under the bus. I'm not going to hold him up into the follow spot and glisten them and all. I just brought it back up, and I just kind of went, ew, and put it back up in his amp. God, that's good.
You can't write stuff that good.
That's just, honestly, man, that's just the times in the bus, like, okay.
Oh my God!
We played the CI West, and we were leaving the CI West. We were going to go to, I think it was Regina. That's right, it was Regina, and it was December, and it was cold. We loaded out all Saturday night. Got in there. We went to the Humpties by West Edmonton Mall, and we got out, and it was about 6:30 a.m. and it's still just jet black outside. We get in the back of the bus. We're all piled away. We start driving, pulling out of the parking lot. Spidey goes, oh. Sticks his 2 legs up in the air, holds the lighter down by his butt, and poof, blows a Blue Angel. And I'd never seen that actually happen before. I mean, honestly, I'd never. It was just I'd never seen it, and it was like I'd never laughed so fucking hard in my life. And I just remember it was like, we gotta hit a store. And I went. It was like I had to get road food. It was like I needed some barbecue corn chips and some a red hot beef and bean burrito from 7-Eleven. And a chocolate milk. Scarf all that shit down, and it was just like, God, the last 4 or 5 hours of pulling into Saskatchewan, man, it was just I could not stop lighting my own farts. And by the time we got there, I completely burned all the threads out of the crotch of my sweatpants. And trying to find a hotel, and my nuts are hanging out my sweatpants. Oh my God, that was a gig. We played Gillies in Regina. Remember,
yes.
I jumped off the stage. He had the big wagon wheel swinging over the dance floor, and I jumped on the fucking thing. It was swinging. Oh man, we almost had to go home.
Well, weren't we we were the first rock band in there in like 10 years or something, right? Because it was a country gig before us.
That's right.
We knew walking in there was going to be ugly, right? Yeah. It was like, oh boy.
That was, God. Man, oh man. I mean, like, we had
like we were playing in a Denny's because there was booths all over the place.
Yeah, I just remember the wagon wheel. I just remember the guy losing his shit. I thought this would be cool in rock and roll. Jump, hang from the wagon wheel, swing back and forth on it. I mean, I was half my weight then, so at least it was somewhat safe, right? Wouldn't do that shit now. It'd kill somebody. But Jesus Christ.
Didn't he give us a talking after the first set about the swearing thing, too? He was really
right. Oh, you're not going to believe who just tuned in. Natalie.
Nat.
Oh, God. We miss you so much.
Hey, Nat. Big hugs.
That's great. Great to see you again. That's so cool. Oh, man. She did a great job for us. I mean, she kept us in line. She really did. I remember the live wire. I remember she'd make us stand in the hallway at 5 minutes to go, and we'd all have a little pep talk, and she'd make sure and check our hair and all. Okay, perfect little road mom kind of thing, and then out you go. And God, she did a great job taking care of all the BS and the bullshit there. But sadly, eh, in a just we had that offer to go out east, and then you got to sign this or you can't go, and it was like there's no way we're signing that, and so before you know it, you're playing Wainwright. Oh, okay. I guess we should have signed that, because we could have gone to Ontario with the Aussie show and had a little bit, but it was like, no, we wouldn't have made any money anyway, man. It was pretty. But God, remember with the Olympics? Yeah, we played during the '88 Winter Olympics in Calgary.
At the First Center.
7 nights at
the Beacon, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and remember we all had to stay at we couldn't stay at the hotel. Even they had the annex rented out even as well too. They actually went in and cleaned the annex up for once.
Yeah.
And we had to find places to stay. I think we were. I know I was staying at Nats that week. I don't know. I think 2 or 3 of us were.
Yeah.
We were kind of spread all over town, kind of thing. But yeah, I remember taking the cabs to go to the gig every night, and the cab would have to stop because of the fireworks going off downtown. And he would he'd pick us up pretty much the same time every night that week and say, yeah, come downstairs, we'll pick you up, drive 4 blocks. All right, the fireworks are going to start. He says, you may as well get out and watch them. So we'd always have a doobie ready. Get out and watch them. God. Yeah.
Oh my God. I forgot all that stuff. That's amazing that you remember that.
One thing I like, a couple of things I remember from that gig at the Beacon for the '88 Olympics was, I think it was Sweden or Norway, the Norwegian ski team had come out to see us because obviously they liked their medal and they heard about the Aussie show and they had to come see it. And there's I remember 4 or 5 of them all wearing the same color uniforms and sweatsuits and stuff. And it was just amazing. God, they were so into it. I remember that. But Kick-Axe came to see us play the show there too, didn't they? No.
There was a whole bunch of people that were there that week.
Yeah, it was nuts. I mean, God.
Didn't we have somebody? Didn't we have the comedy guys open for us on the Friday or something like that too? What were their names again?
McLean and McLean.
McLean, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, God. I think it was Friday night they opened up for us.
You triggered a memory of one of my favorite stories that I've absolutely forgotten about to write down or to bring up. The Black Knight Inn in Red Deer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Here's another.
Jesus. The Drummond Brewing Company was right across the street. And I remember they had draft night.
Yep.
And yeah, draft night. So we drank a lot of draft that night. And I remember I was in my room and I slept naked that night or for whatever reason. I remember I don't remember because I was drunk and sleepwalking. But anyway, when I woke up, I was in the fire escape at the end of the hallway on the 5th floor of the Black Knight Inn in Red Deer. And I was peeing in the fire escape, and I was no clothing on. I opened up the fire escape. I finished. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? How am I here? And I open up the door, and I go walking back into the hallway, and I get up to my room, and it's like, of course, the thing's closed and locked behind me. I got no fucking clothes on, and it's like 10 in the morning. I'm in the hallway. So I like, boom, 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 boom. I knock on Pete, Soundman, our Pete. He was across the hall, and he opens up the door, and I'm standing there covering my junk. Hey, man, you got to let me in. What the fuck are you doing in the hallway naked? Like, just let me in. I grab his phone. I call the front desk. Yeah, I'm locked out of my room. This isn't working out well. They come up to open up the room for me, and lo and behold, the door, something has happened to the door as it slammed behind me. Now they have to call a locksmith to come in. 2 hours later, I'm still not back in fucking bed. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, waking up in the some girl. Remember, we had. Oh, you know what? This is where I'm forgetting to do this here, buddy. I'm gonna show a picture of you and me playing at the Beacon here. All right. Now there we are, you and I playing at the Beacon with my little Sergeant Pepper jacket. I don't know if anybody can really zoom in and see that little white bird sitting on the monitor there. That was our dove, our white dove Jake from the show. Now, I would put him on the monitor a lot of times, and it was he was on the monitor at that Black Night Inn at the Zacharias that week. And remember that girl stole him? She walked up and she just like grabbed the bird and started to make a beeline for the door. And I just had the wireless mic. I jumped off, and it was like, had the doorman stop her and literally, you know, he had to like hold her so I could get the bird back kind of thing. And she's freaking out. I'm going to call SBCA. This poor bird, look what you're fucking doing to my bird. Leave him alone. You know, he was. And we had the bagpipe guy, Jimmy Bagpipes Johnson, play with us that week too.
Right.
He did the
guy
Eruption and Purple Haze and all that.
He was awesome.
God, man. Yeah, we had a good run, man. We did have a good run of it, and God damn, I mean, you were there for my stag even as well too. You were playing on Heartbreaker after Are You Easy, and I've told that
Sweet Talker. Yeah, Sweet Talker.
Sweet Talker. Sorry, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, we were playing. That's when I showed up on the fridge dolly. Got strapped to the pole, I think, on near front of the side of the stage, and
I do.
They just kept. Yeah. They just kept feeding me more and more and more booze, right? So, anyway, oh God.
I think you sang a song with us that night too, actually, from the pole. I think Kelly put the mic in your face and you sang a tune with us, if I remember correctly. You were just gooning out your.
Holy shit! Now I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Strapped. I was duct taped to a fridge dolly, which was then duct taped to the center pole or something at the CI South. That was on the new side of it. Yeah. God. Jesus. So, what are you doing these days? I know. I couldn't be more proud to have worked with you, talent wise, guitar playing wise, singing wise, personality wise. I mean, great guy to work with. And I recall in about early 90s, I bumping into you in Vancouver, and you were taking a musical composition course at UBC. Is that right?
Yeah, I studied. I did my degrees. I did a couple of degrees in Vancouver. I studied for 2 years at Cap College doing music, and then I went to UBC and finished my music degree, and then a music teaching degree as well. So I did 2 BAs that I finished at UBC. Yeah.
So you and I couldn't have been more proud of you to when I found out like you became, you know, I mean, we're all musicians, but you know the language, you know it, and I was privileged enough to sit in your apartment while you played me your final Grady piece, an orchestral piece that you had to write out by hand, which was then performed by the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
No, that was done by the orchestra at the university.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But still,
although I did, at one point I did actually get to perform with some of the VSO in the choir that I was singing in.
God, well, you had the voice of an angel,
for a few years. What's that?
Yeah, I said you had the voice of an angel. I mean, that was just nice high harmony voice. Yeah, God. Well, so tell me a little bit more about the fact that I worked with a guy who actually sat down with a pen and paper and wrote out the entire score for an orchestral piece by ear without actually hearing it until the score has been given to the orchestra to play. I mean, to have sat there and listen to your piece being played for the first time must have been just
That's pretty cool.
full boner, like full boner, you know. Like,
There's nothing like that feeling either, right? It's, I mean, I've done so many things musically in my life. It's my experiences are just all over the map. Most people don't really, know what I've done in my career at this point, but it's been pretty crazy. Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be a big feather in the cap, I'm sure, man. To have, I mean, I heard
That was a memorable moment for sure. I've had certainly a lot of them along the ways, still doing.
being able to hear that. I recall when I heard it, I could hear elements of your playing in it. I do remember that there were certain elements of your playing that were still like, I'm like, that sounds like you. Yeah, that's that section sounded like, something I could hear you playing, kind of thing. I mean, I was truly impressed, man. I really was, and it's just something.
Oh, I appreciate it.
So now you're a teacher. You're a professor, aren't you?
Yeah,
That
and I have been
is
for
so
20
cool.
years now. Yeah.
And where are you at?
So I'm in Nelson, and I'm teaching at Selkirk College. We have a contemporary music program, so it's a lot of fun. We teach everything basically from jazz and funk and rock stuff and world music and rock and roll and metal, and I've played virtually everything with my students, including Slayer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now, I recall you gave me a tour of the place a few years back, and there was quite the quite the audio rig in there as well too, if I'm not mistaken. You guys would have movie guys, engineers come up and train there.
That's a beautiful theater, gorgeous JBL line array PA, and it's very nice. And the guy who spec'd out the light show for us who is a friend of mine. He used to work with Prince for 20 years, and
oh boy,
worked with Metallica and Sync and Justin Timberlake, and pretty
that's
cool.
Like Nelson's just an amazing town. Yeah, it really is. Musically, there's so much going on.
It's crazy. I play virtually, and other than the COVID thing, it's like I play nearly every weekend. There's 3 live clubs that run music pretty much 6 nights a week, every week here. And it's only a population of like 10,000 people.
It's nuts.
Insane.
Yeah, it's got literally the most vibrant music community I've seen anywhere. I mean, for the size of the city that's involved with it, it's amazing, and the talent level and there's just off the chart too. It's nuts.
A lot of great players, and the faculty and stuff that I work with. We do a lot of projects together too. They're all incredible musicians.
That's great. God, must be nice. And I mean, plus you're living in paradise.
That's a beautiful place.
Kind of a nice bonus, man. That's where not too many people. The film Roxanne was filmed in with Steve Martin.
Yeah, that's right.
Daryl Hannah. I remember I actually played that hotel in that basement of that hotel.
Oh, okay.
The old hotel there across from the fire hall. That was one of my first gigs. That's where I saw the debut of Just a Gigolo. On MTV. They rolled down the screen and it was like, well, debut, the MTV debut, the new David Lee Roth. Just a Gigolo. And it's like, oh.
Unreal.
So, anyway. Sorry, excuse me. That's what I get for smoking a couple of bowls before the show to settle down here. Jesus Christ. These tech issues are driving me nuts. Now I'm gonna give a little eye candy here. I'm having so much fun that I'm shirking my responsibilities here for some stuff here. Let me show you guys the band promo here. Look at that. I mean, we were hair farmers, man. You guys had the greatest hair. I was always fighting with I couldn't put hairspray in mine because I sweat so much that literally 20 minutes in, I'd have the stupidest looking half dry, half wet hair. But here's another one. Here's us upstairs in Tin Lizzie's,
That's awesome.
the old band room. There's
Vlad.
Pete and Vlad. Actually, I wanted to let you know Calvin's in here.
Calvin. Cheers, brother.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I worked with Vlad
Yeah.
3 summers ago. I put together a band to play the CanaFest festival in Grand Forks.
Oh yeah,
And,
I remember that show.
Yeah, and so that's like Trooper and all those guys, right? That was the whole Canada thing. So
Darby was there too. Yeah.
yeah, she was there that weekend, and we were the first act up on the Saturday, I think it was, and so it's time for us to go on stage and haul our gear up the little bit that we were going to be using and get comfortable and get our monitors. And I walk up on stage, and there's fucking Chuck on monitors. And Patchaluk, Mike was there.
No way. That's awesome. Oh,
Dude, he was doing monitors, actually, I think it was. Yeah, he was doing monitors. And so I'm up there setting up, and I hear Vlad's voice from way out in the crowd there, right? Hey, Darren. And I look out, and he's like, it's Vlad. And I was like, oh my God. It was so bizarre, you know?
Calvin, remember Cal?
I do, so absolutely.
Okay, no, he's tuned in as well, and I'm going to tell
Royce
the real.
Beef.
Remember how we found him?
Yes, I do. I think he ran away with us. His parents probably hated us for a while.
I can't remember what happened. We needed a follow spot guy, and we saw this long-haired dude standing at the end of the hallway at the Windsor Hotel at about 6 a.m, staggering drunk. He didn't know where he was. He was trying to find a party, I guess. And I just recall going, "Hey, you want to do follow spot tomorrow night for the band?" "Sure." Show up at 9 o'clock. Oh, yeah, Calvin's there. He says, show up at 9 o'clock. Never expecting to see this guy. And sure enough, the next night he showed up, and he did a great fucking job that first night and came on the road with us and he went on and worked with Age of Electric, and with Mike Patchaluk, and yeah, he had a good little run. That's great, Cal.
Cal, you were a sweetheart, buddy.
The old Windsor and Red Deer. Hey, Jesus, we played some real classy places, brother.
Oh shit! Do you remember that time that you remember the Grim Reaper story? Hey, there. Tattoos.
That's right. When we were doing the Aussie show, I
still tell people that one.
The Blue Dragon and the Grim Reaper on the other side, like Aussie's tattoos. We used to draw them on, yeah. And I, the club in town in Red Deer, obviously, had a little issue with me walking around with that on my chest. The one guy came up and says, "Hey, that better not be there tomorrow." I said, "It won't be. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry." So I remember we put Spider-Man on there the next night. The Spider-Man face logo on there the next night. And I remember this same dude, we were doing the Aussie show, and he comes walking up to the front of the stage, and he's got that look like he's looking for the Reaper.
Yeah.
And I go over to him, and I'm doing the Aussie thing, and got the arm stretched out, and I'm like, "Nope, Spider-Man." And he goes, "Thumbs up." That was it. So I remember at the end of the night, it was, "Come on over."
Yeah.
And there was a lot of partying after that. So we'll just
because they did that the first night. My memory of it is we played that first night with you with that on, the Grim Reaper, and at the end of the set, that table of bikers called us over.
Yeah.
We all went and sat down, and then they gave us the little speech.
Yeah, that's right. I remember, you know what? I remember getting the poke, the 2-finger poke.
Yeah, and what I remember...
Yeah, that better not be there tomorrow.
Is they said, yeah, if that's there tomorrow, we're going to cut that off.
That's right. That's... Take it off or we'll cut it off, I believe.
Yep.
That's right. Hey, message received
Not a problem,
loud and clear, guys. So, yeah, we put Spider-Man there. It was like, yeah, we were good drones, man. We played along. It was like, The rest of the week it was Spider-Man there. I'm like, man, that was
Oh my-
God. Fucking forgot all about that one too. Jesus, buddy. Now, what I want to do here, we're up on an hour here, so I'm gonna play one clip, and this is my favorite clip of you and me. I mean, there's not a lot of musicality going on here. There's not singing, and there's some great guitar playing and drumming, but I take this as a badge of honor now that at one time I grabbed you and I literally, covered in fake blood during the Ozzy show, would grab you by the hair and drag you all around the stage by your hair and beat your head into the stage and just throttle you. Now,
yeah.
I'm going to play, this is about a 1 minute clip. I think we can still talk over it, but there is the audio going on because I want people to hear a little bit of the music in that as well too. So I'm going to run this clip here of us playing at Tin Lizzie's in Edmonton. I always love that dude in the white turtleneck in the dance floor. But here it comes. Here it comes. Just covered in corn syrup. Oh, turtleneck guy. That's awesome. No, this is my favorite part. I'm pounding you into the stage. The camera isn't seeing it, but I'm all right, here it comes. Here it comes. I get up and walk away. That's the fucked up part. So my favorite part of that is as I got you on the floor and I'm just hammering you into the floor, and it's only like the first three people up in the front of the dance floor that could even see what we're doing. So, but then I get up and I fucking walk away. And I'm leaving you laying there, and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck. I turn around and I go back. I can lift it back up. Come back to come get you, throw you up, man. That was God. That was a good time, man. That was anybody wants to go see the old Ozzy show, go to my website partyhog.com and check out the YouTube page. I've got not only all the songs that we played broken down song by song and posted on there, but also some highlights, the 3-minute highlight package, and you can see me doing Ozzy and my good buddy Darren here doing guitar, David Mills on drums, Dave DeJarle on bass. I think we had Pete and Vlad and Cal working with us that show, if I'm not mistaken. And a tip of the hat to Danny Patchuluk, Skid, Dave Monroe. Man, I miss him. I don't know where he is.
Nobody does.
Tony Rambo, all our love to Tony as well too, man. He was
Yeah.
I got a great Tony story, but he'll kill me.
Dave and I
Tony
used to
turned
do that always all the time.
Oops.
I'm sure Tony remembers that. Dave would say, I takes yous on. Come on, it takes yous all on.
That's great.
He's two little skinny 120-pound music.
Yeah, God. Well, yeah, that's right.
Thrown around the hallway by Tony.
Oh. Yes. Remember he'd we'd give him money. He didn't understand. He didn't deal in numerical values of money like we did. I recall that it was like, fuck, we only made $40. Well, that's $62 as a craft dinner. So I'm good to eat this month. Jesus. Oh God.
Oh Lord.
The old hot pot craft dinner and Jesus Christ, man! But I mean,
Lord.
just some great times. Darren, it's been over an hour. I should let you go, my friend. And I really love you, man. I really miss you a lot. So I hope to get down there and see you soon. That's for sure. And I really
ditto.
can't
Gotta
thank you
hook
enough for being in a guest on the show here tonight. I'm proud to have you on the show.
My absolute pleasure, my friend. It's an honor to be on here with you, man.
Let me get a plug in for your band Ruckus.
Yeah, and my Phantom Power Tragically Hip tribute, and my funk band.
God.
It's called LL and the Get Down, and my other rock band, which is Whiskey Throttle. So 4 projects going.
4 projects going. Jesus, man.
Yeah, and then and I was supposed to be doing
work out those pecs there
this year as well too, but that got put off. So.
You played bass in that Hedwig thing back a while ago too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Yeah, and then we did Rock of Ages too one year. That was amazing,
brother. If you ever get me talking about Hedwig, it's an hour long, and I won't stop.
We need to do beers on this one day.
I got to see John Cameron Mitchell do it 2 nights at the Balmoral Theater in New York City. Man, it was like the real the guy, not Doogie Howser. It was him. It was JCM doing it, man. God, man. Big time. Anyway, Spidey's here too. Spidey joined in. Dave, we love you, Spidey.
Hey, really, boy.
We were telling about hanging you out the window there, buddy. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to get him on as a guest down the road here as well too. I know I can get some good stuff out of it. I think most of that happened upstairs at Tin Lizzie's, if I'm not mistaken. So, once again, Darren Mahe, thank you for helping me out with the Road Story show here tonight. It's been a blast talking to you, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
All right, you take care. I'm going to post a couple of links to some of your stuff later. I'll get you. Tell you what, when you get offline, send me a message with some links and stuff to your Facebook pages, and I'll get them up there. I'll post them up for people to follow and get hanging around there. Okay?
Thanks.
All right, you take care. Love you, man.
Love you too. Cheers, brother.
Right. Thanks again. That's I love that guy. I really do. Miss those guys a lot. And I am so happy to see Calvin and Tony and Dave, and I know Danny's there too, and my dog Luch is outside barking his brains out. He wants to come in. So I'm going to have to wrap up the show. This show is brought to you by Fortifications Security Solutions. Protects you like a fort should. 780-868-6066. He's the man, Fort Clinton McMurray. That's his real name, Fort McMurray. That's his real name. He's a good guy, another dear friend of mine. You need any kind of security solutions, locks, keys cut, you're locked out of your house, your car, you need new doors, frames, somebody's kicked in a place, you need any kind of anything with that stuff, give him a call, all right? So, anyway, man, I didn't use any of these tonight. Oh, hang on. Jesus, see, now I'm fucking up here. There we go.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
How dare you?
That's right. That's right. All these buttons and I don't know what to press. I thank you once again for tuning in to the Road Story Show here tonight. We got the Basement Show coming up on Wednesday night. Semenko Dave and I got a hell of a show coming up. We're going to got more shenanigans. I don't know what Dave's up to. I just know that he's been doing his own thing lately. So once again, thanks for all your support and love. Go to, well, I shouldn't have to put this one up because you're already on my Facebook page. That would be stupid. But please go to YouTube. Please go and subscribe to my YouTube page. I need more subscribers. This video will be on there. I'm on Instagram as well, at Party Hog. The rules for the show, you're supposed to show this at the front of the show. No politics, no COVID, no bullshit. So let's just go with that. Again, thank you very much for everything here tonight. And I take care. You take care. One last one. Cheers to you. Sociables, everybody. I had a great time tonight. We'll do this again soon, okay? We will do the basement show Wednesday, and I will try to get my butt ready for another one of these next Monday, okay? More guests coming. Appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Love ya. Peace and love. Let's make this work. We'll go out like this, all right? I go boom. Boom, boom. Oops. See?